Sup guys, I'm at Mace and I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Origins. Some people say that it is the most realistic game in the franchise yet. I honestly don't know where those people come from, but from what I've seen, it's one of the most unrealistic game in the franchise yet. Now I didn't play the game, so I'm not gonna comment on story, glitches, bugs and stuff like that. I'm gonna comment on the fighting style and stuff that you can see in the videos that are available online. First, I'm gonna talk about this stuff and then I'm gonna show you a compilation of fighting scenes from Syndicate, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, this is from a clip that was released by Ubisoft later, I think before release, but from what I've seen, it's not much different in the final game, or at all. So, first look at the way he shot from the arrow.
You will die, Medunamun.
Die, you bastard!
You will die, Medunamun.
Die, you bastard!
As if it was a semi-automatic weapon. Then look at the way he dodges.
Die, you bastard! Going to blood! See what is mine!
It literally looks like instead of actually jumping, going, rolling side, he's being pulled to the side. I honestly don't know why they didn't include rolling or jumping. Look what happens when the guy with the mace hits something with it.
See what is mine!
It literally shook the entire place. Now, the first time he hits Bayek into his shield with it, instead of Bayek going to the ground and possibly being injured from it, he goes to the opposite direction, but after maybe a couple of seconds, he's fine. He's dodging again. The second time he gets hit by the mace, pretty much the same way, I guess, he deflects it as if it was nothing. This is something that Kratos from God of War, Dante from Devil May Cry, or Alex Mercer or Jay Zella from Prototype would be able to do. Bayek pretty much isn't affected by it at all, whereas the car is left completely open. He almost went flying. Now, if Ubisoft pushed so much for RPG elements to be implemented into this game, why didn't they include the RPG elements into the shield as well? Like equipment durability. First hit it would be able to take, the second hit would shatter it or make it almost completely useless. The same goes for weapons. Why not make them with each strike losing their sharpness or something? Eventually they would break, or after guarding enough times it would break. In Witcher, this is kind of the truth. You have to sharpen your weapons in order for them to maintain the damage, and you have to repair the armor in order for it to maintain the protection. Here, it seems that in one part of the game they included it, in the other part they didn't. If you want to make an RPG element in a game, implement it into the entire game. Because in that clip, Bayek deflects it like just, you know, and seconds after that, the shield gets visibly pierced by an arrow. The inconsistency is the problem. In these clips, you will be able to see how unnatural, fast, clunky and out of the place the fighting system animations in this game for this game are.
Hey, what? What? I'm going to gut you.
In this clip, you can see the same guard, it's the same guard, getting stabbed through his neck 3 times. After each one of them, he gets up. He actually starts to stand up while still being pierced with a blade or sword. The 4th time, maybe he killed him because then Bayek went with the other hand in him too. Tell me, how is this fun and realistic? Some people complained that before it was just button mashing. From what I've seen, this game is nothing else, or at least from the most part, dodging and button mashing. Counterattacking is a big part of every fight. It's a very useful thing in every fight because it opens the enemy or opens possibilities, opportunities to hit the enemy with a blow that will simply kill him or incapacitate him. And the problem was the AI, and from what I've seen, the AI is still quite stupid. But if they made the guards, instead of waiting until their comrades get slain, not always, to attack, they attacked in bigger groups, or at least in a quicker succession, then counterattacking probably wouldn't help you too much. You would have to be more strategic about it. Here, look at what happens when he shoots the arrow. This is actually in the game.
Finally.
The arrow went literally from this to this, mid-flight. Now I read something that allegedly the developer allegedly said that this is based on the myth or something, that there were some arrow whisperers that communicated with the wind and therefore were able to change the arrow direction mid-flight. But there is not a reason, there is an excuse.
Here, I actually do get a headshot this time as he's climbing the ladder. And I do get the trophy that time.
Now you may say that before in those games there was Apple of Eden. Yes, and it was there maybe like on the end of the games, and I'm not sure if it was in every game. Here you can use it pretty much in the entire, or at least a big part of the game. Now look at this eagle drum thing.
My eyes, Senu. This temple resembles a fortress. What has happened?
Get out of my way.
There you are. Guide me, Senu. Medunamon.
Like, if it's not already in there, in the game, then probably the only thing or things missing is through the vision, through the eagle's eyes, by or the player being able to determine what kind of weapon that guard has, how many of those weapons or how many weapons the guard has, and what rank the guards are. You know, why not make the eagle more involved? Like, let's say, by tagging or somehow pointing at the guard and the eagle flying at him, distracting him or attacking him. And I actually saw Bayek standing like maybe 5 meters away from the enemy, both fully stretched out probably, shot at the enemy's head. The enemy turned at him and was like, "Sir." If Ubisoft didn't want to make it possible for the player to be able to kill every and any guard with the basic gear, let's say, they should have made it visible that those guards have better armor. From what I've seen, those guards have still necks completely open and stuff. Like, if they made it visible that the armor is stronger, then... But if it's the same, pretty much, then... It being a game doesn't mean that it has to be stupid or absurd. Because what YouTube essentially did was taking the core of the entire franchise on which the franchise was built on, apparently up to this point, or maybe just some part of it, and what so many people attracted, ripped it apart, replaced it with something out of another game. But I guess fanboys will take and swallow anything and everything that Ubisoft throws at them as long as it has Assassin's Creed in the title. But that doesn't make the game, the franchise, any good. It just shows that you will take anything that they will do. It will essentially lower the standard of the franchise. And no, I'm not nitpicking. I'm not talking about the grass not bending when stepped on or the weapons not being according to the era. I'm talking about elements crucial to the game. Something that has been established throughout the entire franchise up to this point has been completely, or a huge part of it was changed. It's essentially, Assassin's Creed Origins is essentially not Assassin's Creed game. It's more of a Warriors game. Assassins in the previous games were hiding their weapons. Like Ezio had a sword on his waist. Here, Bayek has a shield, a sword, a bow on his back. Like, if it was a completely new game, that would be like, okay. But it's a game where in a franchise that in which something has already been established, and changing it like this is simply, it doesn't belong in there. It's as if in Star Wars someone would just pull out an iron sword. While it wouldn't be impossible, it would certainly be out of place. And that's the thing, a franchise should remain being true to the core elements of the franchise, while tweaking, adjusting stuff, improving stuff. Not completely changing some elements and including elements that are completely unfitting and just don't go together with what has previously been seen. But here you can see the clips from those 4 games that I mentioned. As you can see, the AI is still stupid. In every single one of these, the guards just wait till you kill one of their comrades, not always, and attack in really slow successions and in really small packs. Now, I don't know what direction the entire franchise is gonna take. But if it's gonna take this route, I think it's the wrong route. I think it's not the route that Assassin's Creed franchise should take. Because Assassin's Creed franchise in previous games has been more realistic. Animations were fluid. So if you like this video, subscribe to support this channel. Shall we meet in the next videos. Bye.